everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are listening to us from. My name is Dawins Chimba. I'm a final year medical student at the Copperbelt University School of Medicine in Zambia. I'm also the Director of Operations and also a Research Fellow at Association of East African Neurosurgeons. So today we are happy as well to have another presentation under the Grantsmanship course that I've been having. This is the second presentation. So today we are privileged to have a colleague of ours, Alice. She's going to introduce herself later on before she begins the presentation. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask the panelists to introduce themselves, and I'm going to be calling the names as they're appearing on my screen. So I'm going to start with Dr. Daniel Safari. Please unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Safari from Democratic Republic of Congo. Actually, the research associate at AFAN and a research assistant at the Forensic Center at Official University of Bukavu, and equally a clinical assistant in the Department of Surgery at the University Clinics of Bukavu. I'm glad to be with you this evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Safari. Thanks a lot. Then we have Dr. Kadira. Please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Okay, I guess Dr. Kadira is unable to speak. I'm sure it's going to type in the comment section. Then lastly, but not the least, we have Ivan Zolo. Please, you can introduce yourself. Dr. Ivan.
Hello, Darwin. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Ivan Zolo. I am the president of AFAN and a general practitioner in Cameroon. It's a pleasure to be here once more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ivan, for being here. Okay, so at this time, we're going to go into the presentation. So I'm going to ask the presenter to introduce herself and begin the presentation. Feel free to share the screen.
So as I was saying, my name is Umutoni Alice. I'm a student from University of Rwanda, College of General Medicine and Health Sciences. I'm in level 4. So it's like we do level 5 levels, so I'm in level 4. So today's topic in the Grantmanships course prepared by AFAN, we are going to talk about the grant writing tips for research grants. So the content of today, so the first content we'll be talking about before you start writing, what are the things that you have to prepare before you start writing, and then we'll go to components of the proposal elements, and then the last thing we will talk about the budget plan. So before you start writing, there is something that you have to know. You have to know the instruction to your application. So I mean, like various like institutions that we give you grants have applications, and they have their guidelines that you have to follow. So application forms are posted with each funding opportunity announcement. So follow all the instructions, including page limits, word count, the spacing. So I mean, like, you just have to follow those instructions. You don't have to ignore them. Another thing is that attach every document as they requested. And while you are attaching every document as they requested, you have to be honest, because there are reviewers that will check and cross-check about everything that you have talked. So another thing is that you have to know your reviewers. So knowing your reviewers, the first thing is that you have to know that there will be like multiple proposals and yours will be included. And reviewers will take like almost like 30 minutes or plus or even minus to review your document. So you have to write content that you know that will impact their mind, or that they will have like something to remain with your your proposal. So within the 30 minutes that they'll be reviewing your proposal. So another thing is that assume that reviewers are tired and are not experts in the specialty. So you have to write something that is not too scientific, but it is not also less scientific. So another thing in knowing your reviewers, you have to be prepared that it will be like at least one expert on the panel in your field. So about this is like so about those 2 points, it is like you will consider writing while in the back of your mind you'll be having like, so this person are not experts, but still there will be someone who is an expert within it. So you have to write something which is true and also which is like more of English, not too much scientific word. And then know your funding agency expectations. So I know like scientists have like this dreamland, so they can go even beyond expectations, or you can even go less than what they expect. So the one thing that you have to know about your viewers is that you have to meet their expectations. Like, what do they have in the mind? Which agency are they going to choose, or which applicant are they going to choose? So you have to know your agency expectations. So uh, there are like score review criteria that I found, and I wanted to talk about them. There are like 5. So those are the criteria of proposal that will give you marks more than any other applicants. So the first thing will be the significance. I wrote it not fine there, but it is significance. So significance means that does the project address an important problem? Like they'll be specifying like, we want to fund this application, but does your this project of yours address an important problem in the society or within their administrations or within their association? So another part of the significance is that is the if the aim of the project are achieved, how will the scientific knowledge and the clinical practice be improved? So if you it happens to that you achieve your project, or if it happens that you meet the standards, how will your knowledge or the clinical practice be improved? So another thing that you have to involve is the innovation part. So you have to be innovative in the things you are doing. So imagine that if there are like 30 applicants or even 100 applicants, how are you innovative in the things that you are doing? So does the application challenge and seek to shift current research or clinical practice paradigm? So you have to know that if this project that I'm going to do, does it change the clinical practice paradigm in your research? So another thing that you have to involve are the investigators. So you know that while writing for a project, you don't have to be alone. You have to have a team of investigators or your team members. So while the reviewers will be reviewing your project, they will be like demanding themselves, are the researchers suitable for the project? Do they have the past experience? Do they demonstrate the training needed to, do they qualify for this training? So you also have to know the people that you are presenting to the panels. Are they experts in the field? Have they been conducting the same project? So you know that experience counts, and no one wants to give a job to an unexperienced person. So you have to make sure that you are experienced in the subject and you have backup proof. So if established, have they demonstrated an ongoing record of accomplishments that have advanced their fields? So this is also another thing that you have to record, and we have been doing it in AFAN. You have to record your accomplishments. Like, does your CV like state something about you that you have been accomplishing something in that field? So all they will score the approach. So the overall strategy, methodology, and analysis were reasoned and appropriate to accomplish the specific aim of the project. So you do not have to walk in the wind. You do not have to assume, but you have to have a strategy, a methodology, and you have to analyze everything that you'll be writing to accomplish a specific aim for the project. So another thing that you will have to do is that they will have to score is have the investigators presented strategies to ensure a robust and unbiased approach as appropriated for the work proposed. So imagine if they give you a work and then you'll be like sky shooting or aiming for the stars with biases. So within the reviewers panel, there will be a next person. So they know what is achievable and they know what is not achievable. So you have to be unbiased. You have to show statistics that will back you up. We'll talk about that later. So also there's another thing about environment. With the scientific environment in which the work will be done contribute to the probability of success. So there will be no one no one want to work with someone who is not stable, who is not like who does not have a scientific environment to work in. So you have to show them that you have stability in your work, you have where you are working, you have an address. So all of this will matter. So about the score review criteria, like not all have the same like marks. Not all of them are like are all needed at the same time. So some questions will need investigators. Others will need innovation. So you have to know what they are asking for. So you have to meet the expectations. You have to have someone inside or even outside of it who knows what they're doing. So you have to find out. So the basis of this or the basis of scoring review criteria, you have to know like what they are asking you, and if it is innovation, you have to be innovative. If they are like strategic approaches, you have to be strategic to it. If it is a significance, you have also to do that. You have to deliver that. So this is where we are. Also, you have so this is also another thing that you have to do before you even start writing. You have to have a plan. So you have to like to sit with your team members and then develop a plan of what you know and also what you do not know. So among what you know is like, what is your idea? You have like a concrete idea. You have like a clear idea. Is that you can explain your idea to someone and they will be understanding like what is your project? Why do you think the project is needed, and do you think it is unique? It has not, because researchers, we all want to do something that was not done before. That's why you have to do literature review and all the things that you pass through. That's why you have to review like maybe like 1,000 or even 100 papers that were written before you. So with this, also this grants funding, you have to be unique, like in your way of approaching it, in your innovation. So like you have to ask yourself or even team members, like, why is it needed? Why is it unique? And also you have to talk about who will it affect, like the population that you are targeting. And then you also have to ask yourself, or even what you know, when and where will it take place? Who are the experts and how do they add value to your project? And also you have to, how much money do you need and what will it pay for? So those are the things that you have to know. Those are the things that you will sit before even starting writing anything, and then you will have to answer those questions. So also something that you don't know, you have also to write about it. What information about your project is missing? Are there resources? Are there expertise? Because within this, I read that you have like to include like consult. So I mean the people that you have to consult, which are experts, or even like other resources that are not available now. So we have to include all of those. Another thing is, what questions do you still have about grantmanship? Who can answer your question? So all those in writing a prospectus, it is something that you do before even starting writing anything. So these are the components of a proposal element. Those are the common components of a proposal element. But always remember to check the guidelines of your on the website of the announcement of the grantmanship. So those are the things that you have to do. You drop a title, and as we all know that, and as we all have been practicing, a title should be clear, concise. It will be speaking your mind, even everyone. So the title and the abstract. there's something that will be published. So you want everyone that will read about it to know what you're talking about. So you also need an introduction. So I put a star before every something that we develop, which is not. I don't think that most of us know it, but we will talk about it. What is a need statement? You also need goals and objectives. You set them clearly. You need a project plan. How will it go? The methodology, the approaches until your project is finished. You will also need an evaluation plan. An evaluation plan means that you will be evaluating yourself. If it is a project for 2 years or 3 or even 1 year, you will need to stop and then evaluate yourself. You will need a dissemination plan. How will you do it? You will need a timeline. So those are the proposal elements thing, and the reviewers will also need that. So you will need a sustainability plan. So within the sustainability plan, we talk about it later, but it is you will talk about even if the funds are not enough, what will you do to go further? So there's also something about the budget and the budget justification. Every budget needs a budget justification, and then you also need support materials, which are letters, which are the CVs, which are resources, which are the biography, everything that they will request you. So those are really general, but every proposal will be different from another one. So those are the main ones. So those are the common ones. So about the competitive needs statement, it's a rationale for the project and the request. It's also demonstrate understanding of the context of the situation. So a need statement, a competitive one, needs to be rational to the project. So you have to show them that you understand their situation and that you are there to solve it. Also, there is something about giving a concrete evidence to support your claims. You have to show them statistics, records if possible, reports if they are possible. So you have to show them that you have been there, like in your mind, you have been imagining it, you have been preparing it in your mind, and then that you are writing it today. So the document the importance of your interventions to the community, to the organization, to the funders. So you have to show them in the need of statement. You have to show them why they need you and why you need them. So there's the like you will need supporting evidences. So I mean, sorry. So competitive goals and objectives. So just know the difference between goals. There is a difference between goals and objectives, but objectives comes before goals. So objectives are measurable, quantifiable, traceable, and practical attainable. And goals and objectives will be important to the sponsors. Not just do not ignore the sponsors in everything that you are doing. Just know that they are giving you money and their money to do something which is important to you and also important to them. So make goals and objectives the anchor of the storytelling. So while you also writing there's something about storytelling, just to make it really like attaching or really to the core of human being, you have to also involve storytelling. So do not be over ambitious. Do not project something that you not reach. You know that it is out of your limits. Just aim for bigger things, but also do not be over ambitious. So there is also a competitive project plan. Uh, how project to be carried out, like from day 0 to day maybe 100 or even day 200. How will your project be done? What will you do within those days? How will you do it? And who will you do it? You have to have specific personnel to specific objectives or even specific work of the way. Also, how will it be assessed? How will you be assessing your objectives? How will you be assessing it every day? And what will be the outcome? So you have also to project the outcome in a specific time. So remember, project plan makes sense. Make the project plan makes sense, be reasonable, and be feasible. So this is also something that you have to know while we're writing a competitive project plan. So it is like writing everything that you think you go through and challenges that how you will first them, and who will be with you all along the way. Also, another thing is writing a competitive sustainability plan. So this is where I liked it most, but the sustainability plan is the capacity of an effort to achieve long-term success. So you want to tell them, like, even though it is a 2-year project, we have to make it sustainable, and it has to benefit the environment, or even the citizen, I mean the targeted people, for long-term success. Such and sustainable and serve is important without a threat or loss of support and the quality of services. So what is your strategy for continuing the project when the money runs out? So this is also something that reviewers will see. If they are giving you like such amount of money, when your money runs out, what are your strategies for continuing the plan? So you have to show them that you are even finding money outside of that organization, or even that you will generate money outside of it. And then the sustainability can mean anything. So sustainability can mean anything. So plan to pursue extramural funding should make sense. So this is also something you have to talk about depending on the company that you'll be serving. Another thing is a competitive budget. So a competitive budget, this is, that you'll be dealing with money. So they need to know like the kind of money that they are giving, the kind of money that they are investing into something. How would that money be used? So the first thing is that grants funds a thing, not an idea. So it is a thing, not just an imagination. It is something that is processed from the beginning until the end. So you have to do everything like that. So another thing is that present an easy to read format. You don't have to be so much concrete about it. You have to make it so simple so that everyone remember that they're not experts. There is also an expert. So you have to make it as much as easy to read. So determine what costs are allowed. So every organization will not allow all the costs set. Maybe the fringes benefit will not be allowed in some grant agencies. They not be allowed. So you have to know everything like that. Budgets are often accompanied by separate document called a budget justification. So budget justifications are like you have to show them, if I project that these are the expenses, how do you justify those expenses? Are they the common market value, or is it your own imagination? So you have to make a budget justification. So be specific and detailed as much as you can. So you have to know that this amount of money is going to this kind of person, or this kind of particular thing in details. So you have to write everything in details. You don't have to like to hide something. You have to, if you need money, you have to like to write it all. So verify policies on indirect cost and cost sharing. So every grant agency, or every person who will give you their money, they have like policies. So indirect costs okay. An example of an indirect cost is like if you are working in an office, and then you tell them that you're paying electricity bill, water bill. So those are indirect costs. They are not things that are involved within the cost of the project. So verify the policies on indirect costs before you even try to understand, to try to put it in there. So about the budget plan, I prepared something. It's a let me show it. It's a template from learninggrantwriting.org. So this is like it's a template. You can download. You can have it on your own, and then you can try to do it on your own, and then add something of your own. You can exercise with it. So there is our number. There is there's grant. Can you see my cursor? I don't think you can see it. So there's grant. Darwin, can you see my cursor? So there's an instruction like fill out only the bracket with the white cells in the workbook tabs and put the. So there is also the cost of the tab. So this is like let's say that this is the budget summary. There's grant agency. There is like it is 1,008, and there is cost shares that cost and cost share percentage. Cost project period. So there are categories of something. The budget category. So let's say the personnel, those are the individuals that you'll be maybe paying. So there's also the fringe benefit, the benefits. So those are the things like insurance or something else. There's travel money, there's equipment, there's supplies, there are construction, there are construction, there are constructions, there are other indirect costs, and then direct costs, and then the indirect charges. So going to one I see here that about this a list of project costs for employees of the entity completing form. All personnel costs or recipients and would include so for an example, like you can from you can write like position titles, so you need to be specific and detailed. You can write the time of hours per pay, you can write the pay rates per hour, and the total project users. So if it is a manager or program manager, he or she will be working at 250 hours, then a pay rate of $40. So that's 1,000 for the total project. So you have to be detailed and specific. So you can also add other members of other personnel that we have to pay. Another thing is for free benefits. For free benefits, there are extra benefits implementing an employee's salary. So that's what a free benefit means. So an example, a company car, a subsidized meal, a health insurance. So those are the things that are free benefits. Maybe even paying them like apartments, anything that you think that will make the environment be clear for them to work out. So an example is like an example here is also program manager, labor type, personnel cost. You know that we did the personnel cost in the personnel budget, and then we rate them over 25%. There's a rate of the free benefit on the total cost. So it's an accounting thing that you can run it. So also the total cost of the free benefit would be the $2,500. So still on the same project manager. So I need you to understand that we have to be specific and detailed. So one project manager means that if I am a reviewer and I'm seeing this, it means that within the total cost, you will pay a program manager like $12,500 to write the department. So you have to write everything. For you to be also like equipment, maybe how you use their money. So about the grantmanship, or even any organization to give you a grant, just know that there are components of a grant, and I mean there are components of your proposal, and also they are not so similar. You cannot copy one to another one, but there are like requirements that your organization will give you, so you have to follow that. You do not have to follow what is in your mind. Another thing is that you have to have a team of members that will work with you. You have to know that within those members you have to have an expert that you will pay or not pay, but you have to have an expert. And writing it, yeah, it is possible that you can find you do not have to work in isolation as your own team. you have to find maybe other reviewers that they can help you. And within all those companies that give grants, or even those associations that give grants, it is not maybe their first time, so they usually post something about like other successful grants in the past. So you have to also read about it. Thank you for that, for the presentation. Thank you for following. I think I can start sharing right now. Thank you so much. Darwin, you can take the floor, and we can take.
Hello, thank you so much, Alice, for this wonderful presentation. Very concise, very deep, and coherent. So thank you so much for sparing your time to prepare this presentation. It was really great. So at this time, I'm going to allow the panelists, if there's anyone who has a question, please you can ask, or if you have any contribution, you want to say something, you can please go ahead. Okay, I guess there's no question or any contribution. So in case you have any question, you have a question later on, please feel free to still text in the WhatsApp group, and probably some responses can be sent there. So at this time, we are probably going to end here. So thank you so much again, Alice, for this wonderful presentation, and thank you everyone for attending. So see you next week.